Okay. Part of me feels like this might be the last one. As I said in the previous video,
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
that's
decided
very
to go to the
difficult to
meeting room.
say.
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Again, I'm going to run through a lot of this because I've done it all before, and I'm not going to tell you which. Okay.
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Okay, let's go back. Okay, there's this door here. Yes, there is missing ceiling in this room, but I can't get in there. That's definitely new. Nothing else looks different. Try doors, try doors.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes.
Okay, I've not been here.
No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and
blue
retrace
corridor.
our steps.
This game is deteriorating on me very quickly.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
I do
Well, you
remember.
know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Ha.
Oh, no, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time, I have to restart.
Right, so that was actually the ending, as it's very difficult to tell. Okay, we now have an adventure line to follow. That little bit there was actually the ending to the previous video, but like I said, it's very difficult.
I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable adventure line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
However, I am going to follow your line, narrator. But it definitely doesn't go through here. This is a new route altogether. But I'm going to follow it.
You see,
Seeing as you've laid it out for us.
Where the story is.
Around
it's
this.
over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny.
Okay.
Look, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
That's a great idea. Question mark of question marks. Okay. This is great, actually. 007. 006. 038. 0B4. Oh, what was that on the floor? Huh. A mask. A payback. Or payday. Payday, that's the game, isn't it? Payday mask. Following the line, following the line. Employee 432, peer reviews, financial records, corporate imbalances. Hold on a moment. The line's all over the shop.
Wait, cut the music, go back and look at that fern.
Okay, I will.
Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
Consider it remembered.
Wait,
Okay.
what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story?
Hold on, I've not been down here before.
Bell?
I remember this location, but I've only ever been able to see it through a window. Ah, here we go again.
No, not again, Line. How could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
We have the line again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us?
Well,
We're
quite right.
intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
437, narrator, I'm with you.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley,
here we go.
I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it.
I'm happy with it.
Be fine.
Don't acknowledge it. There we are. I've completely forgotten whatever it is I was supposed to be remembering.
Choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere at the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Narrator, I am with you. The confusion ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined?
Find the confusion
So
ending
now,
schedule.
according to the
5th
schedule,
restart.
I restart again. Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really? No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey. though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
We will.
Well, in the meantime...
Whoa. Made me jump. Okay. So, was that the end of the confusion ending? Confusing because there was supposed to be more. This looks quite usual. Let's see what the narrator says when we get out here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, so this is usual again. Awaiting input. This is only over here every now and then, so I'll make sure I always put something in just to keep the game on its toes. Okay, this is usual now. Or so I think.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
He entered the door on his left. Okay, I am going to enter the door on my left because there is something I'd like to do. But I've been trying to do it for a while. Skip all of this.
Yes,
skip
there was
all of
not
this.
a single person here either. Feeling a wave
If you'd
of
like to see
disbelief,
that,
Stanley
please
decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley
watch the
walked
first video.
upstairs to his boss's office.
Okay, boss's office. Boss's office. Yes. Yes, this is all as it was
Stepping into
originally.
his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it
2845. I couldn't remember. 2845.
Yet
Okay.
incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck.
Okay, here we go.
He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
And down we go. So yes, there is a few things we can do. I've been down here a couple of times. One for the kind of true narrator's story, and one to take the escape route. However,
it was a stirring of emotion in his chest.
there is something I'd like to try.
He felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Right, down here, down here. Yes.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read
Ignore the
Mind
escape.
Control Facility.
Here we are. Okay. Turn on the lights. Again, if you'd like to
The
watch
lights
this
rose on
properly,
an enormous room
it is
packed
in
with
video
television
1
screens.
on this playlist.
What horrible secret
However,
did
this-
this place hold? Stanley thought to himself.
It's just
Did he
me
have
skipping
the
through
strength to find out?
to get to the choice. And I'd like to know what happens if I take the other choice.
Now the
Yeah,
monitors jumped
here's
to
the
life,
cameras.
their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images.
Not
on
a soul
screen,
on the
and
screens.
Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this
Okay, here we
place
go.
where freedom meant nothing.
So basically, this is the generic story.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with
there we
his
go.
boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
The narrator's getting very
No. He
excited,
refused
even though he
to
knows
believe
we've
it. He
been through this
couldn't
all
accept it.
100
His own
times.
life in someone else's control? Never.
Okay.
It was unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
He had.
But Here was the proof. The heart of the
Right.
operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy or sad or
I
content.
haven't actually pressed
Walking,
this button
eating,
either.
working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place.
I
And
have
as the
to press
cold
it now.
reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over
Okay.
another human life.
Well, the
For
generic...
he would
Okay, no,
dismantle the
stop going
controls
on.
once and for all.
The generic ending allows me to walk through the doorway over there and turn off the whole system. And I walk out into a beautiful sunny meadow. However, I've just realised I haven't pressed this button. And trying to press it, nothing happens. Okay. So what I can do is still available to me, which basically you might have worked out is turn the whole system on rather than off. In the
And when at last
first
he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his
duty, his obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. Yes, and I did in video 1. However, I'd like to turn the system on.
Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted?
Wow.
Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better.
I do want the complex to explode, so I don't really want to stop anything, but
you know what? To hell with it. I'm going
3
to put some
attempts
extra
remaining.
time on the clock. Why not? These
Oh,
are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
no, I want,
Me, what's the matter,
I
Stanley?
do want the
Is it that you
complex
have no idea where
to
you're
explode.
going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones, or maybe this big red button.
Yeah,
or
it
this
clearly makes no
door.
sense.
Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? Stanley, You're in for quite a disappointment.
57
But
seconds.
here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death.
Good.
You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless.
I'm going to stand
To see
right
you
here.
Made humble. This is not a challenge.
39,
It's a tragedy.
38,
You wanted to
37,
control this
36,
world, that's fine.
35,
But I'm
34,
going to destroy it first. So
33,
you can't.
30.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Okay.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully?
I think this is quite a rather
Not a
fitting
choice. Make it count.
final video,
It's
isn't it?
all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable
Here we
life
go.
from the
3,
moment we fade
2,
until the moment
1.
I say, happily ever up.
And that's the end. Brilliant. So that is a quite fitting end, finishing in the same place as the very first video. This really is a great game that keeps you thinking constantly and tests everything you know about game mechanic, game design. I think I'll end it here in Office 427. I hope you've enjoyed it.